Well guys, good, oh sorry dog. Just hit him with the gates. Good afternoon, evening, and happy Monday, Tuesday to all of your sunshiny faces. I'm gonna make today's vlog a little short, but I thought I would share with you guys the plants update sort of from my mom. Actually starting a lot of them in these little like, what are they called? The Cupcake sort of little things. Like, you can get them at the dollar store. They're like the Cupcake to go. I think maybe they hold 12 cupcakes or something like that. I can't tell because there's plants in them right now, but because they actually have a lid and the carrying case sort of thing, it actually creates like a little sort of like greenhouse for the plants, and you guys should see how well these stinking grew. And like I said, probably almost better than just starting them in like the regular, like, you know, seed starter sort of. I think a lot of these have done way better in that condition than in even the other ones have. So I'll show you guys all of that. These are all the ones that are in those Cupcake sort of like carrying trays. So this is sort of what we ended up doing. You guys can see there's little tiny baby ones actually growing in here and in here as well. And you guys can see too, like this is good. This is like sort of creating a little greenhouse. But it's nice too because, oh my goodness, we did something, we had to pick it up, we knocked into it or whatever. We don't have to worry about dirt also going everywhere, but at the same time again too, it does give it that little greenhouse effect. So these look like orange marigolds. I think that's what's actually coming in there. And down here we've got mini zinnias. I'm not really seeing too much of a whole lot else that's coming in right now in there. But like you guys can see in this one, it actually, I think this that's coming in right here, that's a cucumber that just came up. This is some type of basil here, dill and cilantro maybe. I think this is in this last line. And then over here, which is why my mom actually took the lids off of this one and then this one as well, because it didn't, these were getting too tall. Like these ones are definitely too tall like compared to that, but even these ones were starting to get a little too tall. So these are marigolds. So we've got plants like flowers along with also our actual vegetables mixed in here just because my mom has got the seeds for them. But you guys can see all the other stuff that's also on there too, which some of them I can't see because this one's got something over the other piece of tape, which I don't know if anything's coming in here yet. But so those have been working really well. Some of the other ones too, I think my mom moved into her office because it does get really good sun in there. But these are another set of some type of plant. I don't know what these are. These honestly, because they're red on here, these could be beets. Was what I was possibly thinking, but then most of these other ones are like, they do have little what's it called, tape on there. So this is actually butternut squash, and this one of those does not look like he's doing too good in there. Something striped squash, I think maybe. This is spaghetti squash. We like squash, so it's not too bad. And then some of these were coming in, I don't know, or my mom maybe started some of these from seed in here. I'm not totally sure. Maybe they didn't make it. Having at least some of them make it from seed will be really awesome. But also on top of that too, we have a lot more that will just seed and sow directly out in the garden, so we don't have to worry about that much either. But I don't really know which ones those are. We also have our lettuce and spinach is coming back for a third year. I honestly thought because of the winter we had not this last winter, but the winter before that, I thought because it was so, it didn't really get that cold. Like, it got cold, but we didn't get that much snow, and I guess it didn't get that cold either. But I was thinking, oh, because of that, that was the reason that we ended up not, like, you know, the spinach and lettuce came back. This year, you guys saw how much snow we stinking got, and it was cold for, you know, like under, you know, freezing and stuff like that. I was like, oh, the spinach and lettuce are not going to come back. They came back again for a third year now. So on top of that, speaking of snow, guys, we ended up getting snow today. Sort of like a slatey rain, but I saw that I think by next week we are supposed to have like a 70-degree day as well. But I told you guys too that there will be like the varsity football game, but Jack doesn't have his football game, although he might wind up still suiting up for the varsity game, so we might end up going. But it's supposed to be like 50s, I think, or 40 on that day. It's not going to be very warm. But then I think like sometime midweek next week or later in the week next week, it's supposed to be like in the 70s one day. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. And then again, though, it was snowing today, and we had those days again where it was like 80 degrees and like we had the windows all open and we were in shorts and you know, all that kind of stuff. And then it goes to where it's freezing cold out and snowing. So yeah, that was what ended up happening today. But I thought I'd just end up showing you guys, like I said, the plants and everything like that, because our little greenhouse, like I said, these little things, which my mom, I think she only got 3 of them from the dollar store. So we spent $3 for that, plus just the dirt and the seeds. And we were able to start these already, you know, this way. So she was like, this is so worth it. And not to mention, guys, we can reuse these. They're not like disposable ones that are like, I mean, even the plastic ones you can, seed starter plastic ones you can reuse, but I feel like these are so much more durable. I feel like they last so much better that they're really a lot more worth it than even those little seed starters are. Granted, it's not completely built for that, so like all the seeds, as you guys can see, are all kind of clumped into one group instead of like each individual sort of like, you know, again, the seed starters a lot of times are more individualized. But like I said, I'll be totally honest, I think that this is way cheaper, way more worth it, and we can use it for years and years after that. We'll just keep it out in the greenhouse outside, you know, or in, I don't know how well the plastic will do inside. So we might have to see about that. We might have to keep it outside or keep it inside, because sometimes plastic, if you leave it outside in the winter and it freezes, it gets kind of weird and then will crack a lot of the time. So, but you know, like I was saying, long story short, I think that this was such a well worth it investment and worked so well. And like I said too, we don't have to freak out about like, oh my gosh, we bumped into it, or oh my gosh, we, you know, did something to it and, you know, something fell on the plants or something like that, because we've had those little lids on them for so long. I mean, even now it'd be bad if something fell on them, but now is the point where we can move them into the bigger pots, even some of them, because they're sort of growing out of control. But we still can't put anything in the garden because we had snow today, and so until risk of frost is over, which will be most likely, I think, by the early May maybe, is when our frost for the most part is gone. Although I think last year I was like, oh, it's May, our frost was like, you know, I planted stuff out there already and stuff had started to come up, and then it ended up frosting and I was like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. I don't think we ended up losing anything because we ended up covering all of it, so that was good. But like I said, we still, I think even after May, the beginning of May, had a frost last year. So but by May we should be more than likely, like, we're pretty safe. So, and we shouldn't have to worry about that too much. And if we do, again, we can just cover most of the stuff. Which stinks because we do have a chance of losing it then, but there's not a lot you can do, because then by that point you're like, it's May, I should have this stuff planted already. And also too, I don't know if I could go another month after that of having this stuff in here, because it is a little bit of a pain having to consistently move the stuff off the stove or the you know, whenever I want to use the oven or the stove. So anyways, guys, I am gonna go take a shower and get to bed. I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give the big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, I'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.